Hello there. Happy Thursday. I am Sarah, and I am so excited to be here today to talk about the root cause of burnout and our addiction to work. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Sarah. I am a traditional Usui Reiki master teacher, a holistic life coach, and a yoga teacher. I've been practicing for 20 years. I've been teaching for 10. And I go live, I try at least once a week on all sorts of different topics, from money and setting boundaries to how to prevent burnout like we're doing today, to how to connect with your intuition, and lots of other really wonderful stuff that I've been blessed to learn over the last 20 years. So with all of that said, I have a new special workshop coming up. It's going to be called How to Calm Your Mind. And I'm looking up for the date here. It's going to be Friday, July 16th. And we are going to talk about all sorts of different tools that you can use to bring yourself back to center. You know, the main tool is always like train your mind through meditation and a mindfulness practice. But sometimes if we haven't done that, then we find ourselves going at 1,000 miles a minute. And I want to give you some tools that you can use on the spot to bring yourself back to center. We're going to talk about crystals and essential oils and some guided meditations and some breathing techniques. So I look forward to that. So I go live once a week and do these trainings for free here in my group and in my page and in my YouTube channel if you are not on Facebook. And then I do once a month, I have a paid workshops, usually $27, where you get to meet live with me for 2 hours. And then I have, long-term real programs, 90-day programs, 12-month programs. So you can work with me and learn from me in whatever way is available to you, depending on your schedule and your budget. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and jump right in. For many years, I overworked in everything that I did. From when I was a kid and I was a waitress, I would work and overdo and, be the best waitress that I could be. And then I was lucky to get into real estate. Well, I don't know if lucky is the right way to put it, but back then to me, it was lucky because I was a young kid and real estate and mortgages allowed me to make a decent living. And I was self-employed. I was a commission-only loan officer. And before the market crash of 2008, like I'm talking long time ago. And back then I was also a workaholic, and I would put in all of these long days, and I find myself in the office at 8, 9 o'clock at night. I would wake up at 5 a.m. to answer emails. And then the market crashed and I got a corporate job, and I was a workaholic there too. I was just an assistant. It wasn't like I had a big shot position, but I went way out of my way to do as much as I possibly could. And I would once again find myself in the office until 7 p.m. at night and then wake up. I had a computer that I took home, and I would wake up at 4 a.m. to get work done before I got to work. It was like insane. And it's insane now to me. But I realized that there is a lot of people who still live that way. And this is your reality. So if you are a workaholic, if you are continuously exhausted, today should bring you a lot of clarity as of why your energy and spiritual system defaults to that. And the first main reason that we do this is because we are looking for a sense of identity. We are not connected to the truth of who we are spiritually. And so we look to put labels on ourselves, and we live in a society that supports and looks up to people depending on what they have achieved externally. So then the more you work, the more money you make, the higher position and title you have, the better you are. And so a lot of the times this craving and this striving comes from that place of wanting to grasp a sense of value and a sense of identity. And we equate our success with how valuable we are. If you are connected to your spirit, if you are constantly going within and connecting to a source higher than yourself, if you are constantly operating from a place of love and from your heart and not from your head, you don't really need that. So I'm not here to give you simple tools like, okay, yes, you need to sleep enough and you need to eat enough and you need to, go for a walk in nature every now and then, and you need to do guided meditations and take a nap. And listen, all of those are very, very useful. But today I want to talk about why we don't do it, because the truth of the matter is we all know that. If you are into mindfulness and health and wellness and spirituality, it's not news to you that you should be doing certain things to keep your system in balance. But we don't do it. And why don't we do it? Partly because a lot of the times we are in deep pain that we are not even aware of. We have managed to cope through life and survive many struggles and, trauma and drama. And the way that you've done it is by searching outside for that happiness and that success and that abundance. And we've never really stopped to feel. So then we get stuck on overdrive. And we work and overwork and we stay on our phones until all hours at night and on the weekends and even when we're on vacation, because God forbid we were to stop that and we were to slow down things enough, what we would have to do is we would have to feel. And we don't want to feel. And so it's a lot easier for the system to continuously run and do more and work than it is to slow things down enough to see that anxiety, to see that fear, to see that pain, to see that sadness, to feel, the loss of, people, places, and things in your life that are not good for you and they're dysfunctional, but you hang on to them because we are tribal beings and we're always looking for a sense of belonging. And so a lot of the times we stay connected to things that are not healthy for us, because if we were to let go, we would feel uncomfortable. And so, but we don't want to acknowledge that. We don't want to feel that. We don't want to see that. So then what we do is we go into workaholic mode and we keep ourselves busy so that we don't have to feel. So those are the two main reasons why we are addicted to work. One, you're looking for a sense of identity and a sense of value. Even, I work with a lot of students who are nurses or teachers. And they oftentimes suffer from burnout because they give. And a lot of the times it's unhealthy giving. We over support our students, our patients, the people around us. And the reason that we over support is because when we help somebody, we feel good about ourselves. And so we go into this giving mode, and we don't really stop to see how that's affecting us, because we're so busy feeling good about ourselves, about how much we give and how much we help. And it's not that we shouldn't give and we shouldn't help. I give and I help all day, every day. But you can only give what you have. And so you always have to fill up your bucket first. And that is proper giving. It's a giving that's not codependent. But if you are giving more than you have to people who don't even provide an exchange, don't appreciate it, are not in a place of receiving, then what ends up happening is you end up feeling drained. And why do you still do it? Because you want that reward of feeling good about yourself, that you're helping somebody and you're trying to find that sense of value and sense of identity. So we overwork, whether it's a service profession or whether it's anything else. You're in school and you're, taking too many classes or whatever. We overwork because we want a sense of value and because we don't want to feel. And it's a lot easier to keep ourselves busy, overworking, thinking that we are on purpose, than doing the inner healing work that's your real purpose for being on earth in the first place. Okay? So that's the reason that we do it. And in order to break it, and in order to stop, you have to first understand why. And then you still have to create little habits that allow you to bring yourself to a place of balance, little routines, and have little tools. And that's what the workshop's going to be on the, what did I say, the 16th? Yes, that's what the workshop's going to be on the 16th. The little tools that you need, so when you find yourself out of balance, you have something to hold on to and something to grasp to remember what your center is. But the most important thing that you can do is create a small mindfulness practice, whether it's meditation or it's yoga or Tai Chi or even something like walking in nature or journaling, because that's your daily appointment with yourself and your spirit that allows you to remember that you are not on this earth to overwork and overshop and over travel and overindulge. You are on this earth to heal, to rise your vibration away from fear and towards light and love. And when you go into a prayer is a wonderful mindfulness practice. If you literally just sit in prayer for 5-10 minutes a day, you are realigning your physical body and your mind with a force higher than yourself. When you are deeply connected to this source, you find a sense of peace. When you find that sense of peace, you no longer have that craving for value and approval from anything outside of yourself, including work. You know, we think of negative addictions like sugar or alcohol or cigarettes or, you know, whatever it is, drugs. We think that those are unhealthy addictions. Well, when you think about it for a second, the reason that people do these things is because they're trying to run away from pain. They don't want to feel. And so they turn to wine and beer. And I did that for a while when I was younger. I'm so glad because, I don't know, I guess you get older and your system can't digest the scrub no more. So then I don't even find it enjoyable at all. But, you know, back then, you just want to run away from the pain. And these are the go-to things. Either you travel and you keep yourself distracted with new adventures and new places and constantly moving and constantly going, or you go into what society considers negative addictions, which are drugs and alcohol and sugar and things like that. But we don't think of overworking as a negative addiction. As a matter of fact, we live in a society that encourages that. And a lot of the times, the corporate cultures in which we work kind of like shown, like they look down on you if you don't overwork. Like something is wrong with you. They are better than you because they're overworking and you are not because you're not overworking. And we don't think of overworking as a negative addiction. But from my perspective, it is the exact same root cause. It's you don't want to feel. There's inner healing in there that needs to happen. If you create the space and you stop working, you're going to have to deal with this, and you don't want to deal with it, and you don't even want to see it, because the minute that you see it, you're going to have to do something about it. And what you're going to have to do is going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to be awkward, and it's going to feel weird because you're so used to what you know. And so if you understand that overworking is a negative addiction, and okay, like I get it, it's not as negative as an alcohol addiction or a drug addiction. You could say that it's worse. I agree. Okay. But you have to understand that it comes from the same root cause. And it's just that we live in a society that doesn't teach us that. They teach us drugs are bad, alcohol is bad, overworking, that's good. You get brownie points for that. You will have more value for that. You are a better person for that. Oh, you're so proud of yourself. Like you're a hard worker. That's a good thing. And I'm not saying you need to be lazy. Listen, I work hard. I still to this day work 6 days a week because I have to work some weekends because some people don't, they work during the week. So they need to do their yoga and their meditation and their coaching on the weekends. And I'm more than happy to do that. But I also make sure that I take time for myself as often as possible. And I have practices in the morning and practices that I do to make sure that I stay balanced. So I'm not saying you shouldn't work hard. I'm just saying there's a limit to where it's productive, the minute that it's affecting your health, the minute that you no longer have the room to do your own inner work and your own inner healing, the minute that you're using it as an excuse to avoid certain things, now it's no longer productive. And you need to be aware of that root cause. And the remedy is to create a mindfulness practice that works for you, that reminds you of your true purpose on earth and brings you that inner peace, so that you stop constantly searching outside of yourself for it. And then you need the basics, getting enough sleep. Like if you're working so much that you can't get enough sleep, you're going to be malfunctioning. Like, a little toddler that doesn't get enough sleep, they get grumpy and their perception is a little bit skewed and they throw tantrums over this and that. Well, as adults, that's what we really are. We're grown-up toddlers. And if we don't get enough sleep because we're overworking, then you're cranky, you're grumpy, your perception gets affected. You don't see possibilities. Your mind is tired. It's not open to learning. It's not open to growing. And it's kind of like a never-ending spiral, because then you feel that, I don't know, sadness and anxiety deep underneath, but you're so busy working that you don't let yourself feel. So then more of it accumulates. And it's just one of those things that at some point it needs to be fixed. Now, once you start fixing it, the other problem that comes is you're going to have some unhappy customers. Because if you are overworking and you are, a lot of times the reason that we overwork is because some of us have an actual sense of responsibility. Okay. And we go to work, and if things are not done, then we take it upon ourselves to do it because our coworkers are not doing them. And so then you all of a sudden begin to realize, okay, this is not healthy. I don't have to clean up after everybody and overwork myself. I'm going to create the space and keep myself at the right vibration so that I can feel and I can heal and I can see more and I can be more at peace and I can create some habits that are productive. And so you begin to do that. Okay. But then the people around you are like, whoa, time out. Like they are not used to you not doing what you used to do for them, whether that is at work or whether that is your kids, whether, maybe you have teenagers and you're still doing their laundry and all of a sudden you say, no more. You're going to have to do your, they're not going to be happy. Like if you don't do your coworkers' work and they used to kind of just cruise around and be lazy and now they have to do the work, they're not going to be happy. And you have to really understand that by helping yourself come to a balanced place, you eventually end up helping those around you as well. If you're taking care of your patients too much, of your students too much, if you're doing your coworkers' job, if you're doing your kids' chores, they don't have the opportunity to grow and to learn and to build those skills. And so you are actually not really helping. You might think you're helping and you might feel really good about yourself and your sense of identity and your ego so happy that you're so valuable and so needed and so helpful. But in reality, you're not really helping because you're not allowing these lazy, dysfunctional people to take responsibility for themselves and their experience. And so a lot of the times when and if you manage to understand what I'm saying today, to identify the root cause, to set yourself on the right track and begin to have the courage to create the space that you need to do your healing instead of avoiding it and hiding in work, you will then have some unhappy customers around you of those people who you have been over supporting, who you are choosing to no longer over support for your own health and well-being, right? And what you need to do with them is when they come at you and they get upset, you literally have to explain to them exactly what's going on. You can literally say, I have realized that I am overworking, and for my health and well-being, I am choosing not to do this anymore for you. So you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to find somebody else to do it for you, because I am choosing to put my health and my well-being and my spiritual growth as a priority. And so you want to be clear, and you don't want to do it from a place of aversion. Listen, a lot of the times when we're helping too much certain people, we at some point say, enough, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then we get mad at them. And that's not productive because that puts them on the defense. But if we own what's really going on and we could explain it to them from a me-centered place, like explain where you're coming from and how you're trying to make yourself a priority and you're trying to create space in your life, and therefore you're setting boundaries and there's certain things that you are choosing not to do for them anymore, you'll be surprised. There's gonna be not much that they can say. They might still be upset. But if you come from a place of love and light and you stand on solid ground and you know that your intentions are right and you have the right view, that by doing that for yourself, even though they might be temporarily upset, you're actually helping them, because then they'll have the opportunity to grow and begin to kind of just learn to walk by themselves, then you won't feel that guilt. And you won't feel that much of like this heaviness that you have to carry. So again, to recap, why we overwork? Because we are looking for a sense of value, and because we are looking to maybe avoid some inner healing that we need to do. How do we change it? By reconnecting with your spirit. Establish a daily mindfulness practice, prayer, meditation, journaling that reminds you of your true purpose on earth, which is not to overwork. It is to grow and improve spiritually. And when you begin to set those boundaries and you have unhappy customers out there, you explain to them what you're doing and why you're doing it out of a place of love for yourself. And you'll be surprised when you do that for yourself. A lot of the times it's funny. I have women who come to me and they begin to set those boundaries and they begin to say, I'm going to take time for myself, and I'm going to make time to go to a yoga class, and I'm going to make time to do my coaching sessions. Then the husbands begin to say, well, I'm going to make time to play golf. And I go, hallelujah, thank God. By them setting an example of taking care of themselves, now their partner feels that it's okay to take care of himself. To me, that's a good thing. It's a good thing for everyone involved. When you set an example of boundaries and taking care of yourself, you kind of tell the people around you that it's okay for them to do the same, and it becomes a healthy thing for everyone involved. So you do it out of love for yourself with the right awareness that by doing it for yourself, you're helping and inspiring others, and you are no longer enabling laziness and codependence and negative behaviors. So that is my short little 20 minutes of wisdom here. Again, for those of you who don't know me, I am Sarah. I am a traditional Usui Reiki master teacher, a holistic life coach, and a yoga teacher. I've been practicing for 20 years. I've been teaching for 10. I have 2 options for you guys to work with me if you are interested in learning more. A 90-day awakening and empowerment program, which is a combination of yoga, holistic life coaching, and deep understanding of how the mind and the energy system work, and a 12-month yoga teacher certification program. So follow me to my website, sarahseo.com, if you want to learn more. And if you're not ready for one of those long-term programs, make sure that you join me for my workshop that's going to come on July 16th. It's a Friday. I'll keep the time. I can't remember the time right now, but I'll announce it soon, and you can sign up, and it's going to be $27, and we're going to talk about crystals and essential oils and different guided meditations and breathing techniques that you can do when you find yourself off balance. It's going to be a workshop called How to Calm Your Mind, Everyday Tools to Bring Yourself Back to Center. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day.